The Lockdown Board Meetings 2020. Written by Martin Hesketh. Read by Derek Johnston. "29. Foxy the Fox-Nosed Fox. 29th Lockdown Board Meeting, Saturday, 18th April 2020. In attendance, me, Chair, Spud II, Head of Cat Department, Spencer, Head of Bigger Dog Department, Ada, Head of Smaller Dog Department, Horny Frank, Head of Horny Rabbit Department, Beardy, Head of Not So Horny Rabbit Department. Apologies, none. Call to order 0600 hours. 1. There were sufficient members for a quorum. 2. Minutes of previous meeting approved. 3. Business from last meeting. The Chair stated that he eventually resumed talks with her indoors regarding the flap situation. Her indoors stated that the kitchen door and the flap policy are closely linked and are not for changing. 4. End of the week statement from the Chair. We have been in lockdown now for 4 weeks. I want to thank all departments for their cooperation during these stressful times. Our mad but lovable stakeholders are still happy with our updates, so we will continue until they've had enough of the ramblings. The lockdown continues for a bit longer, but spirits are high, and you'll never walk alone. 5. Statement from the Chair. Chris from NHS Providers warns that PPE supplies will run out in 24 hours, so that's not good. Boris's mate Matt stated that he would love to have a magic wand, so that's good. Unions representing NHS staff are concerned that NHS staff are being asked to reuse PPE and use PPE which is out of date, so that can't be good. 6. Business updates. 6.1. Ada. Ada stated that with regards to the meet-up yesterday with the foxy-nosed fox, she and Spencer were at the meeting point by Spud's favourite place in the garden area at precisely 10:15 hours as was agreed. One foxy-nosed fox turned up 5 minutes late. They could tell he wasn't on his own and that others stayed in the shadows. The foxy-nosed fox approached gingerly, stated that his name was Foxy, and he turned his hole around for Ada to give it a good sniffing, but she refused. Ada stated that she wasn't going to sniff the hole of a terrorist. Ada introduced herself and Spencer. Foxy the Foxy-Nosed Fox stated that he would like to form a triple entente with ourselves and Ben the Longtail. He stated that he already had an agreement in place with the Longtails and it was holding nicely. Ada stated that she would have to speak to Karen the Sheep regarding this. Foxy the Foxy-Nosed Fox added that the entente wouldn't necessarily involve Karen the Sheep nor anybody else from the farm. Ada stated that she would have to consult the other board members in that case. Foxy the Foxy-Nosed Fox also stated that Ada should have a meet-up with Ben the Longtail as well, as soon as. Ada stated that that would be a hard sell to the board members after the last RLT attack. Foxy the Foxy-Nosed Fox stated that he's not sure it was the RLT who attacked, as they have never claimed responsibility. When he spoke to Ben the Longtail about the apparent attack, he said, "Not in our name." 6.2. Spencer. Spencer reiterated that the meet-up went smoothly and Foxy the Foxy-Nosed Fox seemed genuine, but as there was no hole sniffing, it was hard to be sure. Spencer added that a meet-up with Ben the Longtail was a good idea. If they're fighting against the RLT also, then that can only be a good thing. He added that he too had concerns about the RLT attack, as Horny Frank was the only one to have seen them. Spencer stated that we should plan a meet-up with Ben the Longtail, keep our enemies close and all that. But he thinks that Ada could manage that by herself. If not, bring Spud along this time. Spud stated that that's probably not a good idea. He'd give Ben the Longtail what for without even thinking about it, and play with him like Ada plays with her black plastic thing. 6.3. Beardy. Beardy stated that the more he thinks about the RLT attack, the more he doubts it as well. He really didn't see anything, just Horny Frank jumping up and down screaming. To be honest, that scared the life out of him more. He's starting to believe that Karen the Sheep is trying to get our support for a war against the Longtails, by introducing false evidence to provoke a reaction, which of course it did. The incident was probably planned to take place around the old shed at a specific time to give the genuine appearance that it was carried out by hostile dissident longtails. Beardy stated that he's starting to wake up. 6.4 Horny Frank. Horny Frank stated that he definitely saw longtails coming out from under the old shed. He'll never forget their beady little eyes glaring at him. He argued that there's no way that attack was staged. If it was planned for maximum effect when he and Beardy were there alone, then how did they know that our quality time indoors was actually taking place outdoors? That was a last-minute change. They definitely came to dish out what for. Beardy asked who made the change to the schedule then. Maybe that was part of the plan. The chair stated that it was her indoors that changed the quality time indoors to quality time outdoors, because she can. To be honest, argued the chair, if you think her indoors spent time planning a false flag with Karen the sheep to create tension between us and the longtails, well, you're as mad as our stakeholders. Ada stated that she stands by Karen the sheep. She wants to bring peace to the railway verge area. Her and the farm are fighting a war on terror, and that war reached our shores on April 14th, 2020. The RLT we face dish out what for in the name of a totalitarian ideology that hates freedom. 6.5 Spud. Spud stated that he's glad the meet-up went well. He also said that he doesn't really trust Karen the sheep either. He asked if Ada had actually been to the farm and does it even exist. However, in saying all that, he's not sure how he feels about making friends with longtails. It just goes against nature. Spud also stated that whatever agreement we make, we must be able to make our own foreign policy decisions. Ada stated that she had not been to the farm yet, but was planning a visit soon. The chair said that it's probably time to consult our stakeholders on the community page again regarding this current predicament we find ourselves in. 7. Other business, none.